him and Kyle Connor are their hope. Kyle Connor scores a couple of goals, and he gets it. He stands on his head. They've got a chance. Other than that, I don't see them winning. But I've been wrong. I've been wrong. Like I'm glad I don't. I'm glad you guys don't run tape checks on this show because I've been wrong a lot. I've been so wrong. I wouldn't have me back next year.
You wish. You're coming back, like it or not, pal.
Nice try. You don't know it, but you got a lifetime contract on our show.
Yeah. So
as we're racing from the golf course, and we're with our friends there, and I'm saying we got to get there. He's saying, You must do really well off the show, Doug. You're up basket case. And Jill just looked at me and shook her head. You tell Kiprios. I said, I'm not saying anything, honey. I'm happy just to get the airtime. It's good for book sales.
There it is. The ultimate reason why.
Ask her, where'd you play today, Doug?
Go.
Where were you?
I played at Ridgeway Golf Course in Danbury, Connecticut. And tomorrow we're heading to Martha's Vineyard for a couple of days and spend some time in the vineyard. Our ferry, I think, is at noon to take us to the vineyard. So we're going to go over and spend a couple of days there and then head to PEI on Tuesday.
Home of the Danbury Trashers.
Yes, actually it is.
Mac,
it is.
In terms of where we are at this point, is there any team more impressive right now from top to bottom than the Edmonton Oilers for you? I mean, they're doing this without Ekholm.
No, they've been real impressive. And look, what about Pickard, Moncton kid? Look at how he comes off the bench and wins, 4, 6 or whatever in a row. I mean, really, he might be the story of the playoffs because they were done. LA had them on the ropes and they were done. What about Kenny Holland now? Leaves. They couldn't wait to get rid of him in Edmonton. And, with the greatest record of all, maybe one of the great general manager records other than Sam Pollock. And now he goes to LA because he really wants to beat Edmonton. I had a great. Oh, by the way, I have to say hello to a great friend, a lifelong friend, Jim Devellano. I talked to him the other day.
Jimmy, hello.
I talked to Jimmy D for 45 minutes. He loves the show every Friday. He said it's a real hockey show. And when a guy like Jim Devellano tells you it's a real hockey, well, no, I should correct that. He didn't say it's a real hockey show. He said it's a real segment. A real segment.
We do 20 good minutes a week.
It really came down to him.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is he doesn't watch Monday through Thursday.
I'm telling you, Jim. No, Jimmy loves the show. So anyway, I want to say hello to him. And then, anyway, so I've had Anyway, it's good.
How much
go
do you
Leafs,
think
go.
the league should be involved in stuff like Jamie Benn getting fined for a punch to Scheifele last game, or it feels like every play there's some crowd call for fines and suspensions. Feels like people are taking it off ice an awful lot.
And you should speak of this.
It's a war out there. It's the playoffs. They shouldn't just have the league just relax and just watch the games.
You were the worst. Coley tells me you were one of the worst for calls to the league.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, you should be embarrassed.
I think back on my career, and I think I feel terrible. Every referee that wrote a damn book, I'm at least 2 pages in every book. What a jerk I was, and I feel terrible about it. I do. But anyway,
it speaks of trying to get a competitive edge.
It speaks of I wanted to win, and it was. Hey, listen. I think back to Columbus, and I'm still sour about it. I'm still sour about it. The cards we were dealt in Columbus, it was a joke compared to what Seattle, Vegas, and even Nashville. Nashville come in by themselves. We come in with Minnesota at the same time. It was a joke anyway. And now I see. Anyway,
tell us how you really feel.
That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Anyway. Yeah, I was dumb. I was really dumb, to say the least. It was ugly. I used to go by, I told you about the guy that used to be the attendant for the referees in Columbus, and I had a deal with him. If I was mad after a game we lost in the referees, he'd hold the door open for me so I could walk by and yell at them. He'd keep the door open. He was the guy that used to bring them beer after the game and towels. And I'd say, well, because you got $10,000 fine if you went to the door. So he'd see me coming, I'd give him the thumbs up, open the door, he'd keep it open till I was finished yelling as I was walking by. It was bad.
Would you have any suggestions to like change the system or find different ways to
I think we all just need to
monitor all
be
that?
accepting that it's all sorted out on the ice by and large, right? Unless
I think Brandon should go down and have the door open and yell at the referees before the game. Him and Tree Living. But anyway, look, they got to win tonight, because, like I said, there's no way around it. We'll see what they're made of tonight. We will see what the Leafs are made of tonight. We really will.
you believe in Joseph Woll?
I'm hoping. I feel for Joseph Woll. I do. He held them in the game before. Yeah. I didn't think he was great the other night, but I mean, they come in waves and they're pounding away. It's tough. It's tough to play goal. Look, losing Stolarz was a tough break too. Let's not kid ourselves, but no excuses. They should have won this series. Up 2-0. They should have won this series.
Mac, if the Florida Panthers do get by the Leafs tonight, are we going to start talking about this team being a special team? The Florida Panthers and some future Hall of Famers on this team?
Yeah, you're going to, because Barkov is going to end up being a Hall of Famer. And I'm the guy Bobrovsky's been unbelievable. And I'll tell you and he wasn't very good, guys, the first two games. I said after two games, if Bobrovsky doesn't turn this around, it's going to be a short series for the Leafs. And guess what? He turned it around big time. But the guys that I'm impressed with, obviously Kachuk, but what about Reinhart? What about the way Reinhart and Bennett have become heart and soul guys? If some of the Leafs played as hard as Reinhart and Benning and these guys play, they'd be Bennett. They'd be a different team, but they just can't seem to get it up to that playing on the edge. They just can't seem to get it there. It's frustrating as hell to watch.
Well, one more crack at it tonight. Are you going to go back to the course and play the rest of your game, or is Jill got you locked in?
We're just going to order pizza and I'm going to pout about not being able to play the 18 holes. But you know what? I make a commitment. And it's like the Leafs have to do tonight. They have to be like me. They have to make a commitment that they're going to, show up, do the job, entertain the fans. That's what they've got to do tonight. They've got to do a Doug McLean segment.
That's
tonight.
What you do every week.
Hey,
bring it.
I just got a note from Titleist. They want you to take their hat off.
You owe them money for the appearance.
They were doing so well this weekend at the PGA.
Sales are plummeting.
And now they saw you at the endorsement, and they're not very happy. Hey.
Listen, a buddy of mine gave me, I played this $1 million course in Florida, on Indian Creek where Brady and all those guys live. And my buddy he's a member there, gives me a bag of balls when I'm leaving. He said, I don't use these anymore. I was so